Mark Steffen here.
Michael Mandel here. It's good to see you next to me again, you know.
In our usual
2 days,
spot.
2 weeks in a row after your busy time in Santa Fe.
Well, you know, that film festival has come and gone.
That's it? Oh, good. Okay, because I'm not ready until the names get there, because I don't want people to know who's talking and not.
And so, anyway, we need to tell everybody that we, right here on Channel 98, we have a debate between the 3 mayoral candidates.
I thought there were 4.
I was the moderator of that get-together, and we still have a couple more to run.
You did do a good job. I caught that on the real TV.
Really? I haven't seen it yet.
No, it was good.
And
glad I didn't do it.
There's one left Monday night at 7 o'clock. That's the night right before the election. So you want to be sure and catch that if you're wavering one way or the other on the candidates.
Then you're pretty much be wavering when you walk into the booth.
There's a shot of the show right there. And
yes. Oh, yeah, that's because it's marked there.
With Dolores Connor, Ken Miyagishima, and Michael Huerta. Myself as moderator, of course.
And you did a good job. You didn't do what I would do, which would be
interrupt everybody.
Contest each person.
Right, well, that wasn't my
job.
job.
How could you say that?
I was there as a journalist, Michael.
You should have done that. Well,
as a antagonist.
You weren't a powder keg to blow up and get everybody strangling each other?
I couldn't do that. We only had a half-hour show, Michael.
Do we have the graphic of the guy from Simpsons? The mayor?
Mayor Quimby.
No, Say we could have him fighting and everybody strangling each other. That would have been an exciting show. Here we basically had your everyday mayoral talk, which was very civilized and good. So yes, they have to vote this Tuesday.
Voting Tuesday, so please get out there. You have to be a city resident to vote.
Or if you don't have ID, just take the name of somebody who's dead.
Yeah, that's no problem.
It seems to be the way to do it.
Pretty much anyone can
Nobody
vote.
will ever find out. Susana Martinez's plan didn't work. Anybody obviously is going out there, and because voting for mayor and city council and the magistrate judge are very important to, you know, subversives. If the wrong person gets in, the country gets taken over by subversives.
Well, you know, there's also another theory that says
the wrong person.
It's too bad that we couldn't have a none of the above on the ballot.
You can.
And if more people vote for none of the above than anybody else, if none of the above wins, then we leave that job vacant. And if nothing goes wrong in a year, we keep it that way.
You know, you talk about less government, and that would be less government, but it would certainly be horrible. You'd end up having a tent city if you had less government.
A tent city. I mean, like we have now with the...
Do we have a tent city?
Well, you know, you've got all these people living in tents in city parks, creating congestion and noise.
No, they're not.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about the people.
Who are we talking about?
No, I'm not talking about those. What are they called? The 99%ers or
the 99%?
The Occupy Las Cruces.
Yes, they're.
I don't know. I'm talking about. Forget that. I'm talking about the Renaissance Fair, which
Renaissance Fair
that opens today.
Yes, that's true.
This morning.
It's open right now.
It's open now.
In fact, I will be there soon.
And look at people in tents dressed weird and causing commotion everywhere.
The Renaissance was a good time because pretty much what it did, people eating, I think those are...
turkey legs.
Dragon legs.
Dragon
drums. Dragon drums, yes. And that's good. And I don't know what that's a picture of. But it's very pleasant.
Wiki-ups or something.
So the Renaissance was important in the development of society as we know it because prior to, you know, was the Renaissance from? The Dark Ages. And you know what we had in the Dark Ages?
Darkness.
No government. That's when people voted for none of the above. If you want to vote for none of the above, then just don't go and vote.
We didn't have government because you
had feudal lords.
Their religions ran everything.
Or feudal lords, or everybody. We were just congealing in little mini tribes, and that's before we had government. So, you know, we're starting to get a good population. Good population, you need government.
And
that's why you need a mayor.
And of course, the Renaissance was the time of a blooming of the arts.
That's true.
For some reason.
Copernicus. For some reason, because finally more culture came into a very, very primitive people.
Well, was that because the Republicans were not in office? You know, they don't care much for the arts.
No, the Republicans were pretty much the feudal lords because they were the 1%. Right.
I guess.
And they had their they had their fiefs, and their serfs and their other things that ended with the letter F, and they basically gave money to people to be their musicians and
Yes,
people
court
to
jesters.
do their, butchering and
Be their talk show hosts.
and those. Yes, they had those in those days. We would have been puppets. We are puppets now, but
It would be
we
a
would have
puppet
been
show,
in
yes.
a little puppet show. Hi there.
And
Ooh,
so,
ooh.
don't look at me.
My puppeteer.
So anyway, where were we? Oh
We
yeah,
were at the Renaissance Fair, which is
Fair,
a fun thing to go to.
which is today and tomorrow from 9 o'clock till 6 in the night. They extended it 1 hour.
They did.
Tomorrow it's until 5 o'clock. Sunday till 5
Yes.
o'clock. Today until 6 o'clock in the evening.
And it used to be.
You don't have to
until
dress
4
up
o'clock.
in Renaissance garb if you don't want to.
It is kind of fun. It's
But-
if you've never been there, definitely take it in.
You can do your Christmas shopping early.
It may be a little windy today. It's a
I
little
hope
windy,
not.
but it's okay because
There's food.
it's
There's
realistic.
drink. Now they actually have a beer garden there right now. They never used to have that before.
They never did.
Grog, they calling it, right?
Well, they've had the beer garden for a year or two.
Oh.
This year they're bringing in St. Clair's Winery to do a little wine tent for those of you
Well, that's good.
who have more, cultivated tastes, more Renaissanceian rather than Dark Ageorian.
They had
Dark Age is a grog age.
grog. Well, how about a hearty brew?
Yes. Or have a delicate brew from your wine
From
glass.
the fruit
which
of
might
the
be a
wine.
plastic cup. but
Yeah.
Still. And there's great food. There is a lot of food. This year we won't have the pastrami tent. I've been
think
running the pastrami tent
Now
for
let me
years.
ask you this: do you think the food really is that great? It's made outdoors on location. There's a guy, he thinks it's pretty good, but
Is food about flavor? Yes. For me, since I'm a haughty gourmand, or gourmet, not a gourmand, but the people that go to the fair want to have fun. And fun food, is when you could eat a leg like that, when you could eat a crazy funnel cake. I'm not sure what they're doing this year, but in past years they had deep fried Snickers bars.
Okay.
They do some crazy things.
because that's what they had in the old days.
They have the soup. Yeah, they had deep fried Snickers bars. 'Cause
soup in
people
a
did
bowl of bread?
Soup in the bread. There's a picture of soup in the bread. No, it wasn't.
And I guess it's good that they have food there, so you can stay there all day. You don't have to leave to go someplace
It's
else
social.
for lunch.
There are tons of events and stages and activities all day long. There's the main stage as well as 2 other stages. And lest we forget, hopefully we have video here, lest we forget Bob the rat catcher.
Oh, he'll be there with his ratapult.
Or Robert Rat?
I think we're having technical difficulties here, folks, unless it's just our monitor.
Hopefully it's just
Is
our
it?
monitor. Oh, good. We don't know what we're doing.
Okay.
But anyway, Bob Diven will be there. He's always fun. He does a great job tossing the rats. Is he called Robert the Rat Catcher or
Yes.
Robert the
I think
Rat
it's
Catcher?
Robert the Rat Catcher.
Yes, and I was going to go as Mickey the Usurer, but you said I shouldn't do that. I thought it'd make some good money.
Well, I
Probably
see.
not.
There's no alliteration
It's
there.
very...
Mickey the Usurer.
And it doesn't sound good as Hugh the Usurer, does it?
Eubanks the Usurer.
How about Yussel the Usurer?
Yussel.
That would be a little bit...
Jessel.
Jessel. Georgie Jessel?
Jessel the Usurer.
Anyway, everybody knows how to get to the Ren Fair. You get into Young Park from Walnut.
You can't park there, though.
You
know that.
can't. You can't
nowhere to
go to
park.
the. You can't get to the mall and take a bus.
They have a shuttle that runs every 10 to 15 minutes. Park by the Cineport 10. It's a free shuttle. Takes you all the way down there and back. I tend to park in the neighborhoods
So do I.
and just walk a block or
But
two.
we are familiar with the neighborhood.
We know where to park.
Call us up. We'll give you a parking space.
Now-
$10.
They've raised the price to $6 though for adults.
So what?
In this economy, do you think that's a wise thing to do?
Well, in this economy, with the fact that everything is costing more, $6 is about right. Everything that was $5 is now $6, so it goes the same way.
Now they use the money. The Arts Council uses this money to fund their projects throughout the year.
Yes.
It goes to all the arts organizations in town, the nonprofits.
Well, it doesn't go there. It just keeps them running so that they can have the administration to administer all these things. Last night was the Art Walk, and,
Yes.
and that is administrated, I
I
think,
saw
by
you
the
there.
Arts Council. Yes, I saw you there eating a turkey leg.
No.
Or it was
An
it was
hors
a
d'oeuvre.
woman's leg.
It was an hors d'oeuvre.
Now I remember. You said, "Oh, excuse me, need a bite," and bent over.
And
I have it on video. We'll show it next week. We'll do it that way. So yes, the Renaissance Fair is really good. It's a classic Las Cruces thing, just like the Chili Festival or we do the Enchilada Festival.
right.
What else do we do?
You know, I think
tastings?
they've pretty much outgrown Young Park.
It's a perfect place to do it. The dragon will be in the lake.
The dragon will be in the
Bob
lake.
Diven's dragon. We have more to talk to you about Bob Diven. He's like the focus of this entire show.
Pretty much. We'll get back to him in a few minutes.
Yes.
So
I don't want to confuse you more.
Right. So check that out. Hopefully the weather will be nice. There won't be too many sonic booms in the air.
Oh, you mean because you think people will be eating those Sonic Coney Island hot dogs with the onions and beads and then having a milkshake and then you're... Oh, that type of sonic boom.
Yeah, this type of sonic boom that we've been hearing lately. The last week or two, they've been running up, from Holloman Air Force Base.
Training programs.
The F-22s,
You think
are
it's
back
just
in action.
when they come over the mountains, they boom it?
Well, no, we can hear it all the way, depending on how high they are, and they boom over there at Holloman, we can hear it here.
Really?
And
we can hear it over the mountains?
Yes, we can. Well, they're higher than the mountains when they do it.
Oh.
And so...
Well, what kind of problem does that cause?
Well, it sends a shockwave with that sound, and some people are complaining that it's damaging their house. They're losing tiles and cracking their walls.
In the paper showing a piece of tile.
Right.
If your house can't take air, how do you have a kid with a guitar amp? I mean, how does that work?
I don't know how that works.
Probably you're losing pieces of your house.
No, and then you have the people who say, every time I hear one of those sonic booms, it makes me think of freedom. Get it?
Yes. Because you're free, because your house no longer exists and you're living outside.
Yes, we're good.
You go, as I look up when I go to sleep and see the stars, I wonder where'd the ceiling go?
No, it's because we're free to experience sonic booms, whether we want them or not.
They're saving our freedom because we all know that jets can fight better at Mach 2.
Yes, and Mach anything.
Yes, Mach things. That's a great picture. I don't
That's an actual picture of him going through the sound barrier. That's what it looks like.
How do you know when you're going to hit the sound barrier? Can you see it?
Is
it a barrier?
You actually get a warning. They have a warning.
Beep, beep, beep.
Sound barrier imminent.
If it is that loud enough to make a building fall apart, how loud is it in the cockpit of one of those? Or you're ahead of it?
You're ahead of it. You never hear it. You're going faster than it.
You're going faster than the sound can catch up to you.
That's right.
Well, if you slow down,
it will catch up to you.
It's a good idea, though.
Put on the brakes as soon as you break it.
I can't wait till they have planes that go past the speed of light. In fact, they did find particles that can go past the speed of light.
Theoretically.
But they can't find them because,
the light can't see them.
They're late. You're never there on time.
It's in the dark.
You're never there on time. If it's faster than the speed of light, you've seen it, but it's already happened.
Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Speaking of that,
we're going to do a science show soon.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Bob Diven, he's looking for some extras for some movie he's working on, and they're shooting down there at the community theater tomorrow night, Sunday night.
Where's the community theater?
Yeah, down on the downtown Main Street, downtown
we have
mall.
a downtown mall.
And they need people to come to be extras in the wedding, dressed like they would dress for a wedding. So you kind of have to dress up a little bit.
The movie is called Eric's Wedding. We don't know which Eric.
And,
knowing Bob.
And it's a short film. And you'll be there a couple of hours.
It's a short film. You'll be there a couple of hours.
Probably.
So it takes you longer to
Not bad. I'm sure he'll be feeding everybody.
Are you sure about this?
Right, Bob?
Yes, it's for dinner. Yes, because it's a real wedding.
Yeah.
So if it's a real wedding, then you'll have food.
Right. Well, he didn't say anything about a reception.
But he also invited people to bring their own cameras and shoot from your perspective, so he could blend in the different shots, which makes it an interesting.
And he said you'll even get credit, in the credits as a secondary camera. And so anyway, you need to show up there at 6 o'clock. But call the number. I would call the number before you just show up.
Yeah.
In case he already has enough people.
For those of you who are doing your ironing or eating soup and don't want to take your eyes to see the screen, it's 642-7445. If you just want to call to heckle him, don't do that because he'll be really pissed at us.
So that's about, that's it for now. We've got to take a break.
We do.
And we'll be right back after these words. And we're back.
We're here. And it was hard to get here, too, because we had to go all the way from Studio C here to Studio
It's a good thing the studio complex has as many studios and cameras.
Well, because we do another show. We have to moonlight to make ends meet. We have to do 2 shows at once, so we have to double time. During commercials, we do another show. Yeah. It's good. Oh, but for here, we have nothing to do. Why'd you wear black today, so you could blend in?
Actually, this is dark blue, if you'll notice.
Yeah, it's hard to tell dark blue. It's navy then.
Well, it's
right? Navy. Everybody says
navy blue. It's pretty dark navy.
It's pretty dark navy.
Dark navy.
It's dark navy. Anyway, we are back, and we're here with exciting stuff that we like to talk about, which is
football, baby. Go team.
Is that the game with that pointy ball?
Well, look.
Is that the pointy ball?
Look, last night was the big game.
It was.
And there was movie Cruces Divided.
Yes.
Charlie Min did a documentary on the Cruces Mayfield experience, as we call it. He then added some new footage because Cruces played Mayfield last year for the state championship. Cruces won, go Bulldogs. And so he added some new stuff to the movie. They had a couple of screenings of it this week. I didn't go see it, Michael. Did you?
Considering how much I love football, it was a surprise that I missed it.
Well, it showed Wednesday and Thursday up at the Singapore 10, and they had 2 screenings a night, $8 to get in. So I didn't go see it. You know why?
Tell me why.
Well,
you like real football better.
I've met Charlie Min. He did the Massacre in Las Cruces movie here too.
Was there a massacre at this football game?
At the bowling alley? No. Oh. But he told people that worked on his crew for this film that he would, once the film was finished and was making money, he'd give them the money he owed them. That's part of their payment. He paid them later, and he never did.
How much did he make on the movie?
Well, Massacre.
Tons of money, huh?
Massacre in Las Cruces made decent money, so much so that El Paso saw the numbers, and they showed it down there for a couple of weeks. And so, it paid for itself, but nobody else saw any of that money that they were promised. He did the same thing with Cruces Divided. So why would I spend money for him that he's not going to share with the people he promised it to? Oh,
well, now you're divided.
And although he did promise that a small portion would go to Mayfield and Cruces.
Did it?
I don't know what portion. 10 cents.
So the Mayfield-Cruces rivalry is actually more intense than the I-25 rivalry, right? Because
these teams are better. Well, they're better teams, let's face it. Cruces and Mayfield are state.
I know. It was a great game last night, wasn't it? I mean, it was
awesome.
Great. Those guys did a great job.
Well, congratulations to the winning football team.
Yes.
And the best team won.
Right.
There's no describing.
Well, it's not always the best team. It's actually the team that wins is the one that wins.
Well, it was a heck of a game. It was a near sellout.
I think it sold out.
And
that's why we couldn't see it.
Well, you could hear it from your house, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. I could hear all that stuff from my house.
Sure.
And I could watch it from the roof if I had a large concave mirror floating in the sky over the football stadium.
Just had a telescope.
I could see that, and I could see everything.
Okay.
If that happened. And that's why it's good to send things out into outer space, like from the spaceport, so that I could watch we could all do that. You get a little spaceport thing hovering over the field, and then everybody could set their telescopes onto the little concave mirror, and they could watch the show from their house.
Well, a Goodyear blimp could do that, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's true, but then people end up watching the blimp because you never know what a blimp's going to do. Everybody loves watching blimps.
You never know what a blimp's going to do.
Except in a restaurant, because you're afraid they're going to take your food.
Whatever a blimp does, they do it slowly, so there's no hurry.
Just ponderous. But I think that'd be good. And, well, I'm glad that we got a chance to see that game, because now Charlie Min could do another show.
Probably not around here. I think he's probably used up all the goodwill he's got.
Where did he get the extra footage for it too? He just take extra footage?
He went. He interviewed more people, basically, and I think got some more footage that existed from more football games.
So you're getting more
from
of your
last year,
but it only showed 2 days, so it means they didn't have that much stuff.
Well, that's so all the interest there was.
Go Cruces. You know what? I think rivalry is good, but I don't think it should go too far, because really we live in the same town, and poor Oñate. And wait till Centennial High gets in. Remember Centennial High? There's a big controversy now about Centennial High.
Well, it'll take them a while to build up a football team, just like it took Mayfield 40 years ago.
Unless, is this the 40th anniversary of Mayfield High?
Yes, it is. Of Mayfield winning the state championship. Yeah, and alumni from all over this country are coming here for this.
How ironic.
They're here. They were here last night.
But I'm interested in the Centennial High thing, because we end up going to build a school. The Las Cruces Public Schools did all the research, figure out where to put it. It's not a bad area, because you have all the people from Talavera, you have all the people from the new Sonoma.
Right.
And now they want to take some people from Elks Club, but Mayfield won't give up the Elks Club people.
That's not good. They shouldn't be taken from there.
It's kind of too far
away. And they shouldn't be
away.
taken from your neighborhood either. And they're trying to.
Well, we are closer. I am close, which is your old neighborhood, your sometimes neighborhood.
Well, but
you could walk to school from our neighborhood.
And they spent over 130 million. I don't see where that money went.
Well, you know, it's hard to build things these days. Everything costs money.
Well, not
you
that
know,
much.
you want to have good tile, and you want to have the best toilets. Toto toilets are the best, by the way. But nobody cares about those things, do they?
And Toto too?
Toto too. My little dog.
Well, okay.
My little Facebook page. Anyway,
speaking of dogs, we've got pet adoptions.
I can't believe you had to get into Toto and the dog thing.
Pet adoptions Saturday and Sunday, today and tomorrow, are going on. Now, Saturday, today, the farmer's market.
Don't you love when dogs yawn?
Yeah, I love it. Today until 12 at the farmer's market. And at the Renaissance Fair, once again, we're back to that. The Renaissance Fair, Saturday and Sunday, you can adopt a dog.
Oh, we're not
and
at the canines. We're not at that. But the place you adopt them is way away from the parking lot. I remember that last year. They have them in their little crates, and it's sort of like a little shopping mall. They give you a little shopping cart. Take a dog, stick it in your car.
That's from 9 to 1, Saturday and Sunday at the Renaissance Fair. Now, also, we have the canines and cocktails. They call it the Harvest Howl.
Now we can do the canines and cocktails. Yes.
There we go. And that's at Incantanto's Azul Lounge, and that's tonight, Saturday night from 5 to 7.
So it's a hotel, and they're allowing you to bring in your animals, which is kind of unique.
Into the cocktail lounge.
Most restaurants won't have you have dogs and/or cats.
Well, they have an outdoor patio there too, you know.
Oh, so that's where they go to poop?
Well, I don't know. But that's tonight, 5 to 7. Bring your dog. People probably dress their dogs up. You know how I hate that. And also,
we should go. Since you hate it, it must be fun because you hate all things that are fun. You just
no. Here's something else that's fun.
But you do like cocktails.
Yeah, those are
so
fun.
do I.
Also tonight at 7 o'clock, the Love of Animals benefit at the Unitarian Universalist Church on South Solano.
How is that possible?
That's to benefit.
That's not tonight, is it? That's next week, isn't it?
11th.
It's the 11th.
The 11th.
Yeah,
yes.
the 11th. We're just giving you a heads
next
up.
Friday.
Right. It's $5. It's a benefit for the Humane Society.
It's a talent show. To all. That's why the TA is capitalized, because it's a to all talent show.
So if your dog has talent, bring him on down. If you do,
what could a dog do? What does a dog do?
You can do stupid dog tricks, stupid animal tricks, stupid human tricks. Combine them all together, and you've got the Love of Animals.
The Love of Animals talent show
on the 11th.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Do they serve cocktails there?
I would doubt it. I would doubt it.
Wouldn't that be another draw? So when you bring your animals together, right, like that. Do you think it's basically for the benefit of the animals, for socializing? When you have homeschooled kids, you bring them to things to
socialize
learn.
them.
But you also think that this is like a singles party? Is it a singles party? I mean, cocktails and canines?
Not officially, but
not specifically, right?
Canines and cocktails at the Azul Lounge, maybe. At the Unitarian Church the week after that,
it's
the Love of Animals benefit.
You're not so sure.
But they're Unitarian, so it could be.
Oh, that's true. You could be any denominational.
Yes.
They're not non-denominational. They're any denomination.
Right. You don't have to be a Unitarian to show up. That's just where it's being held, folks.
So would a stratagem be for a person who doesn't own a pet but likes to go to singles pickup places to borrow somebody's pet? Or is there a rent-a-pet? Is there a rent-a-penter?
Well, there's not, but there should be.
Rent-a-pet center.
Didn't they do that on Seinfeld?
I think they did, because they were walking and then they were picking up...
right, and say, hey, I'm doing pretty
people,
good with this. Can I borrow your cockatiel?
No, that's what you say once you're in the singles bar.
Oh.
Yes, not when you're trying to get the pet. So you could do that, go over to the... what is it? The former Hilton. What is it? Hilton.
Yes, the Encanto.
A lot of people, if you've been here a long time...
Hotel Encanto.
Encanto is
on Tel Shore there. Canines and cocktails, Harvest Howl, they call it, 5 to 7 tonight. Now, we're almost out of time. Speaking of which, tonight is the night you turn your clocks back 1 hour.
What does that mean?
That means you get an extra hour of sleep. Really.
Oh, are you saying we've all agreed to do this?
We have all agreed to do this.
We've all agreed to do this?
We've been doing it for
years. Because I think it would be a dirty trick. What if people did it just at whim? You go, I think I'll turn my clock back so I'm on time.
The end of the last Cruces channel, midnight shows.
What are we going to do?
2 o'clock when it's over, go back 1 hour.
Oh, so if you're watching this station on Saturday night, it goes from 12 to 2, and then it goes from 12 to 2 again. No, it goes after 12, after the first time 2 gets there. That's it.
No, I'll be asleep by then.
What do TV stations do?
They turn the clocks back. So
they rerun whatever they ran between 1 and 2?
No. They just keep going. The time is just
Into
different.
what? No, it doesn't. What do you mean it's different?
Okay, tomorrow morning.
All the shows will be in the wrong time.
Tomorrow morning when I wake up to watch the Sunday morning show on CBS,
Yes.
it'll start at 7 o'clock by the new time, instead of.
Yeah. What do they do to fill
6
up
o'clock.
that hour? You need extra.
If you get up normally, it'll be 6 o'clock, and you'll be waiting an hour for it to come on.
So next week, Mark is going to be awake at 2 o'clock and then see what happens between 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock, because things are going to happen between 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So if you're thinking of killing a murder and you need an alibi, do it between 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And they go, where were you between 2 and 2 o'clock? I go,
stuck between times.
I was nowhere, because there is no time between 2 and 2 o'clock.
Well, we do have time. No, we don't. We're all out of time, so we've got to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it.
So that's it for this week's show, thankfully. I'm glad time did run out.
Time ran out.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure and join us right here next week for another fine example of Double Talk.